be all set and get this stuff back down. There we go. And get the live chat on. So who we got on here tonight? Say hi to Sinfuls. Sinfuls, he's probably out here tonight. Who else is on here? We already got 2 thumbs up. There we go. That's starting the night off right. Yeah, this week we had our get together, our expat get together. We had about 25, I'll say, 25 people, which isn't our usual amount that we usually have. Sometimes we're 40 or 50 or close to 60 that we've had at our get-togethers. And this time here was kind of slow because a lot of people were out. They weren't around or whatever. And some of them went back to the U.S. Justin's back in the U.S. A lot of the other guys are back in the U.S. too, or just getting ready to leave. So they couldn't make it. But it was still a good get-together no matter what. But I think next time, I think actually by April, most of them will be back. So we'll see what happens. I hope so. Let's see. We've got Big Time 911 Annapolis, Maryland here. Here we go. Nate Viz TV. How you doing? Mr. Sarsilis. There we go. Good evening. Sinfuls is on board now. Good. Let's see. Who else? We got RC in Jacksonville. Yo, Steve. Hope all is well. Off the Cuff Adventures with Jamie. Good morning from Canada. How you doing, Off the Cuff? Let's see. We got 14 people on board, 7 thumbs up. So anything you guys want to talk about tonight, open game on any subject except politics. So BB says hi on board from Slovenia. There we go. There's a country we haven't had on here yet. It's kind of cool. Let's see. And Todd Domeno says hi all. Let's see. And Shuck619, good morning from San Diego. That's where I went to mess specialist school for the military to be a cook. I went to school out there. I actually liked it out there. It's kind of a nice area. For Android 101, the heat. Actually, today we started getting the heat here. About 4 or 5 months now, we've had cool weather here, and today we've actually started getting the heat coming back in. It was like today or yesterday it started coming back in. Let's see. Off the Cuff says, all good, buddy. Sinful says, Steve, did you watch my YouTube videos I sent? I have not. If you send them on email, I haven't even checked my emails yet, so that's probably why. I haven't checked any emails in a while. Let's see. Mr. Sarsilis says, hello from Bulgaria, too. Nate Viz TV, what is the average rent there? Wow. There is no really average rent. You'd have to go by average rent per area. Like Alabama is going to be really, really expensive, but the average rent where I live, wow, it's probably like about, for a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom, it's going to be anywhere from 60 all the way up to 150, somewhere around there. For a 3-bedroom, you're probably talking about maybe 200, 250, somewhere around there. Let's see. Sinful says, Nate Viz, that all depends on what level of housing you want. Exactly. That's part of it too. Because some people want to live in a gated community, some don't. It depends what you're really looking for. Some people want high quality homes and other people don't care as much, or they're looking for a pool or certain type. It depends on the living you're looking for. Let's see. I sent a message on the phone. Let me check really quick, Sinfuls. Because some of your stuff doesn't come through still. No, I didn't get them. It's just I got your message. It says you get the links. Let's see. Let me go back here. For Android 101, 99.8 degrees here in Cambodia today. Wow, the humidity index I felt like 118. I never used AC in the Philippines, but they're OMG. Off the Cuff Adventures with Jamie. Got any idea how to send ballot buy-in boxes from Canada? No, I don't. Not from Canada, no. Sinful, so I guess they did not come through. No. I get messages now, like what you write, but that didn't go through. Like I'm getting my messages through to you, which is good. So, RLV says you started early. Yeah, we did. We started a little bit early. We always start a little bit early. For Android 101, 4x shipping for ballot buy-in box if Canada has it. Okay. That helps a little bit. Sun Moon says, good evening, Steve, from Charlie in Taliban Bahol. Lynn says, hi to all. And Steve, it's so hot earlier. Summer is real. There we go. Pat Keene says, happy birthday, Steve. Thank you. Yeah, my birthday was on the 20th this past week. We've had kind of a week-long celebration. Everybody's wishing me happy birthday. Kind of cool. the big 6-0 this time. So RLC in Jacksonville, birthday boy. Off the cuff adventures with Jamie. Thanks, Android. Leonard Marlin. Good evening, everyone. Happy late birthday, Steve. Sinful says off the cuff adventures with Jamie. Google LBC in Canada. Yeah, LBC might do it up in Canada if you have LBC up there. Let me see. Off the cuff adventures. Okay, Sinfuls, he says. Leanne Soro, my sister is here. Let's see. What's up? Call me. Don't forget, please. Okay. Sinful says, yes, definitely warm today. Craven Moorhead. Let me see. Before I'm going to tell my sister. I'll call you after, Lee. Okay. Craven Moorhead. Hey, Steve. You see the YouTube vlogger, Sick Grandpa, making a short video about you? Yeah, I know who that is. And, you know, I really don't care about it one way or the other. You know, that guy's got some issues. I mean, look at his other videos and you'll see. Just look up Ricky Drama and you'll see. I'm not going to talk about that anymore because I'm not going to give the guy any more, you know, help on, because every time you talk about somebody, it just boosts them. So it's not worth talking about. Jimbo DeCoste, greetings from Charleston, South Carolina. Let's see. Michael L says, good evening, Stephen. How you doing, Michael? Leonard Marlin, I haven't been able to be on your live stream. Had to get a cold, staying in bed to make it tonight. Okay, that's fine. Charles Merrill, hi to all. Lee Ansero, oh my God, happy birthday, big bro. Thanks, Lee. Sinful says, you're 21 months away from filing for SS, Steve. Yeah, looks that way. I'm not really sure. I might be having second thoughts on that. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I'll probably give you a call this week and tell you about something that I found out. It's kind of interesting, actually. So I'm not sure. I'm thinking I might take it, but I'm not totally sure. For Android 101, World Zoom mentioned you favorably. Wow, I don't even know who that is. Can you send that link to me, if possible, by email? Interesting. Is that a YouTube, a vlogger or something? World Zoom? Sinfuls for Android 101. Yes, watch that. See, Mike and Mauricio. Howdy, Stephen. Sad day tomorrow. We are leaving Philippines. Let's see. John Bergeron, good evening. From Quezon City, RLV says, you're a dual citizen, American and senior citizen. Yeah. Enjoy the 20% discount at McDo. Actually, some places will give it to you with the SRRV card. But you have to say, you give to retirees, don't give to not seniors, because that's a retiree card. And some will. And then it's on them. Angbeck Lang says, hi, Steve. I have a condo in Hope Residences. Can you help me furnish and lease the place? I have no plans of living there anytime soon, but I have limited budget for furnishing. I can probably help you with that. Yes, maybe. Contact me through my email at steven5975@yahoo.com, and I'll see what I can do for you. Okay? I'll see what I can do for you. For Android 101, everyone seems to be on $1,000 a month. Ain't enough. No, it's not. That's not enough. $1,000 a month is not enough. I'm not sure how people can push that $1,000 a month in good conscience and say that you can live over here on $1,000 a month anymore, because it's just not. It's not helping anybody at all. Edward Perrenboom, hi, good day. All thanks for all great info from Texas. Sinful says yes, he's a vlogger. Just look up World Zoom. Okay, I'll check it out. Let's see. At least somebody's giving us some good press. We got good press also from the Singapore Strait Times also. From Mara Cepeda. She gave us a really good article. So Sinful's put up the my email address, Steven5975@yahoo.com. For Android 101, World Zoom, a big studly guy in Dumaguete. Don't remember exactly what the video was, but it was this week. Okay, I'll have to check it out. Michael L says World Zoom gained tons of subs after getting interviewed by Filipina P. Interesting. That's cool. Let's see, we're at the end of the thing here, so let's get some more chat up here. Whatever you guys want to talk about tonight, guys. Let's see, here we go. Lightning 351 says, good morning, George, South Florida. Excuse me, guys. Happy birthday. I have 3 years left to hit 60. Been retired, also at 55. Stay in shape, Steve, gym, walking, etc. Have to remain healthy. I do go walking like as much as I can. I got some issues going on right now that's kind of taking me away from that, but I do try to walk as much as I can. Lynn says, aha, Filipina P, not fan. Android 101 exists here in Cambodia on just under 400 a month, but I don't go anywhere or do much except practice guitar. Too hot, brutal. RLV says, agree, 1,000 a month will not do for you here. No, not at all. That's just surviving, if that. York, PA, thanks always, Steve. Love the insight. You know, $1,000 a month here is squat now, because it's not even enough money to leave you any money for like going out to dinner or anything like that. I mean, you'd be living in a really small apartment, probably like probably smaller than where I live, or similar. But I mean, I live in a decent apartment here, but I mean, it doesn't leave you much to live with. See, York, PA, thanks always, Steve. Love the insight. Thanks, man. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to have to check out that World Zoom. You guys got my attention now on that. It's good that somebody's covering us, and we're finally getting some good coverage. Let's see. We're at the end of the thing again here, guys. Let's keep this chat rolling. Come on. Let's go. So we got 59 people, 22 thumbs up. Anything you guys want to ask for any of you newbies out there, if you want to ask some questions or anything, feel free to ask. ROV, how's the weather there, Steve? It's getting hot here in Taguig. Actually, the weather has been getting hotter here too. So usually we have cooler weather here because it blows up the hill from down below here, and we usually have it. You know, it's nice and cool here. It's always cool here. So, and the past couple of days it's starting to get hot. So I'm hoping we're not getting into the hotter weather, because I really don't like that much. The Littlest Hobo says, "Hi Steve, happy birthday! Listening and watching from Santiago Island, Bolanao, Pangasinan." I can never pronounce these names. Pangasinan. Let's see. Android 101. So exactly how brutal is the heat over there? I'm not sure how. It's not the heat. It's the humidity. It's really the humidity here, because we've had no humidity here for quite a while, and that's what it is. It's the humidity. The heat is about the same, but it's the humidity. World Zoom has good videos. Okay, I'll check them out, man. Michael L says 6 Celsius and clouds, St. Charles, Missouri. Richard and Imus, Philippines, getting Panda Express and Subway at SM, of course, small things, celebrating Kavita, LOL. Yeah, there we go. I love going to Panda Express. I mean, I go over there quite a lot, you know. And I love Subway. Those are my 2 favorite restaurants here, that and Texas Roadhouse. SH says, with the SRV, how long are the apostles good for? Some apostles are good for, the apostles are really good forever. They're good forever. It's the fact, if you get a police report, it's only good for 6 months. The police report is only good for 6 months, but the apostle is good. So, in other words, as far as the SRV is concerned, the police report is only good for 6 months, but if you get your DD 214 done, and that's good forever, as long as it has the apostle on there. There's some other things that might date out too, but you have to ask whoever you're working with. We usually work with Mary Rose. I would tell you to work with Mary Rose if you're not working with anybody now. If you haven't started the process, work with Mary Rose. You can contact me and I'll help hook you up with her. Okay, so definitely work with her, because she's awesome to work with, and she's helped a lot of people. I was with her this week actually. Sinfuls for Android 101 today, about 31 Celsius. Mark Schaefer says World Zoom was a hospital administrator. I asked him to comment on your video about Medicare in the Philippines. Interesting. Lynn says, I asked Alexa 28 degrees as of this moment. LOL. Okay. For Android 101, how about a breeze? No breeze in Cambodia. Well, you can probably see this little thing on my hat. So I can see it on the screen here blowing around. There is a breeze here tonight, actually. There's always a breeze here blowing. For Android 101, Sinful, thanks. I never been this hot. Lynn says, Tom, probably 38 degrees to 40 and 40 plus. Oh my God, I need to go SM and eat ice cream. There we go. Let's see, Nardo Q says, in your honest opinion, now that there are more military bases in the Philippines, do you feel more safe or concerned? Ex-President Duterte said that Philippines could be a target. I'm going to tell you something. The other day, I got to meet with 5 guys that were on the USS America while I was at Texas Roadhouse the other day. And I feel very safe with those people. Um, I think we feel safer with the military here, whether we're a target or not. If we get hit by a Chinese missile or something, it's, that's the way it is. I don't think the U.S. this time, if we go to war with China, is going to be exempt. I think there'll be missiles going both ways. That's my thoughts. But who knows? We'll see if it ever pans out, if we ever go to war, which I think we're heading that way, unfortunately. Leonard Marlin says, if you want to see what living on $600 a month in the Philippines gets you, just check out Every Man Has a Story about expat Sebastian. Yes. You don't live very well on that. I mean, they got people pushing $400 and stuff like that, and ridiculous amounts. I've seen some of the ones on there, and I'm like, it just leaves you there shaking your head. Sinful says it's breezy here in Lagoon. It's breezy over here too. It's very nice tonight. Sun Moon says, does the cost of health insurance here in the Philippines double when you turn 70 years old? It goes up slowly as you head towards 70, and then it goes up a little bit higher when you hit that age of 70. For some reason, it goes up precipitously. But there's different types of insurance you can get. Charles Morrell says, looking over restaurants in the Tanza Tracy Materas options. Girlfriend doesn't cook, so I'm getting prepared. Lazy Larry Lee says, hi, Steven, watching the ads. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And he also says, hi, Sinfuls. PH Expat Prepper, 57 watching, 30 likes. Pound that thumb. There we go. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. For Android 101, maybe some wannabe Asia retirees need to understand exactly how brutal the heat and humidity can be here. I'm from Colorado, semi-arid, and I love it. The heat here, a lot of people say the heat here is brutal. I don't see that in my area. I really don't. And I'm sure, I think Sinfuls would probably agree with me on that. I mean, I don't know how his area is as far as the humidity, but I don't see the heat here as that bad. I mean, we have our days here, but for the most part, no. In Manila, it's really different. I think Asia has had cooler weather as far as humidity this whole past 4 months. Even in Cambodia, people have been telling me the same thing. Shoestring Traveler says, I would like to stop on my way next month to Tracy Materas, maybe meet you for lunch if possible. We can try. I mean, this coming month is going to be a very, very busy month for me in April. I have some people coming in, and I have a lot of things going on, but you can try me always. If I have a day that I'm staying around, because there's a couple days here and there that I do stick around here. For Android 101, he says, no one wants to live from AC to AC and be trapped in buildings. I agree. But it's not that hot here. I sit out here most of the day, and it's not that hot out here with the breezes. So, Dicky Spaz says, at Nard, Philippines is a target already, has been for decades. I agree. It's always has been and always will be. There was a target when they didn't have us here. Think about those islands they took over and stuff like that. They were targeting those islands and taking them over. And slowly but surely, they kept taking them. I don't know how many islands they got now, but it's a few. Big Time 911, did you see the guy Sebastian on Every Man Has a Story? He had 2 operations at a local hospital. Didn't go so well. I haven't seen that, no. Sinfuls, Dicky Spaz, exactly. Big Time 911, what are your best hospitals near you? De La Salle University Hospital is one of the best. Gentry Med is also a good hospital. But De La Salle is the best. The ultimate best, I think, for this area. Sinful says, for Android 101, I don't think it's that bad. I like the warmer weather versus the cold. That's the way I feel, and I feel the humidity here is pretty decent. It could just be this area. I don't know if other areas are hot. I know when I go to Manila, it's a little bit hotter, but I still don't feel that hot this year like I did last year. Even in Manila, I think that there's definitely been a change, but I think we're going back to normal now because I can feel the warmer weather coming in, the humidity. York, PA, any thoughts on elder care facilities in the Philippines? I know you were looking at revisiting this topic. I talked to somebody recently, and she said the place moved somewhere else. I'm not sure where it moved. I'd like to revisit the topic for sure. Absolutely like to revisit it. And we probably will when I get some time. This month here and next month is probably not going to be much on that going on. But maybe after that, when I have some free time and things start changing, I can look into that some more. Richard in Imus, Philippines. I'm in Imus, 930, 28C and 73% humidity, and feels like 33 Celsius. Yeah, where I'm at right now, it doesn't feel that hot. Charles Merrill says, I've checked into De La Salle University Hospital in Das Marinas. Seems good. Now, downtown Tracy here is a little bit different. When you go down to downtown Tracy, it does feel hot there. But I mean, here, just for some reason, we're on the side of a hill here. We always catch the breezes coming over here from Gentry through all the fields and jungle out back. Let's see, Sinfuls. I went to look at our property in Bataan the other day, and it is always windy. Lynn says, Sinfuls, I agree, warm weather is okay. John Bergeron, with the weak leadership we have now in the U.S., no one is safe. No, I agree with that, John. Michael L., lifespans are increasing, therefore I would probably wait until 70 to take Social Security. I don't think they're increasing, though, in the Philippines. That's the sad part, you know. Sinful Lynn says yes. Tom BKK says, message retracted. Travel Life Unboxed. Hey, Steven, how's everything? It's good. Good. Kenny and Subic says, split AC is the key to living there. Yes. PH Expat Prepper, it will be hot for a long time. El Nino is coming. Sinful says, I'm near Laguna Lake, so the evening is good. PH Expat Prepper, I just hope we get the rain. Lynn says, but I like in Baguio, weather is more okay. Yes, Baguio's beautiful. Charles Morrell, I have a meeting this Monday with Michael Onset regarding health insurance option. He come highly recommended. Yes, we recommend him. He's a member of our group, actually. Michael is awesome. Sinful says, the issue with heat is like anywhere in the world. Stay away from heat sinks. Example, cities with lots of concrete and no greenery. Yes. They say if they paint the roofs white in cities, it keeps the cities cooler. As much as 10 degrees to 15 degrees cooler in some cases, depending on how many buildings are in that city. But they said it can really cool down a city putting white rooftops there. For Android 101, as I've said, I just live on just under $400 a month in Cambodia. For $200 more, I could eat in restaurants and go out every day. Yeah, Cambodia and Thailand are different, different ball of wax. Philippines, I think, is changing drastically. I mean, if you go up to the city of, Manila and stuff like that, you see things changing there, and they're changing in a big way. It's getting more westernized. It's not third world up there like it used to be. There's still people living on the streets and stuff like that, but the city itself is not third world by any means. Sebastian is a good cautionary tale for expats who don't have health insurance here. Sinful says, Charles Morrell, I just got car insurance through him and doing my health as of right now. Joe Porter, I grew up in Arizona and Texas before AC. I have the Philippines climate quite nice. Charles Merrill says, thanks, Sinfuls. I am looking into that as well in life insurance. David Hess says, good evening, Steve. Good day to all. Charles Merrill, Sinful, sorry. Sinful says, my annual car insurance was $465, and that included AOG, Acts of God. That's cool. Narada OQ says, I have seen chemtrails in Philippines. Your thoughts on HARP? I don't think that really affects us that much here. I'd rather stay off that subject. I know about what it is and all that stuff, but I just don't think it's an interesting subject for this channel. Lynn says, good day, David Hess. For Android 101, I think it's not so hot in the Philippines because of ocean breezes. Cambodia is huge floodplain and it cooks the country center. See, RB Tragur is on board as a friend of mine from back home. Michael L says, Nardo Q, lay off the conspiracy theories. Exactly. Travel Life Unboxed, my American retiree neighbor, and I might head over to Mall of Asia sometime next month. Join us if you can. It's hard for me to get up to Mall of Asia for many reasons. I do get up there once in a while. I go there with the family or whatever, or if we're doing something up there with the group or something. But a lot of people think that I can just drop everything and meet people, and we don't. We just physically don't have the time like we used to. I mean, if somebody comes here, I'll meet them usually. But it's hard for me to go up to Manila and meet people. And I do go up there to meet some people because I'm really close with them as friends and stuff like that. And I'm not saying you're not a friend. I'm just saying, like it's people that I know very well. And we do have tons of people asking us to meet people all the time. And I don't want to feel like, I'm antisocial or anything, because I'm not. I'm a very social person, but I just don't have time sometimes to do everything. Sinful says, let's hit the thumbs up, please. Smillville 007, hey Steve, I was wondering if the Philippines changed things where you could no longer stay there, where would you go? I don't know. I'm on the SRIV and I'm a permanent resident here. Where would I go if something happened and I had to go? In all honesty, I'd probably go back to the States, but I wouldn't go back to Massachusetts. I'd probably go to Maine, um, or maybe Upper New Hampshire or something, but I don't think I'd ever go back to Massachusetts again. Gene Lim says Baguio is on my list. Yeah, Baguio's okay. Edward Perrenboom says, hi Steve, still curious about how to send money to myself. Best suggestions from viewers, thanks. Sending money to yourself depends on whether you have an account or not. I send money to myself through Western Union for 99 cents. I have the US Western Union app, and I send it to my bank over here for 99 cents, and that's the best way to send money over here. Lynn says, done at Sinfuls. PH Expat Prepper, Edward Perrenboom, Edward Perrenboom, TransferWise works well for most cases. Sinfuls, Edward Perrenboom, tried to get a bank or credit union account that does, yes, that helps a lot with like what he's saying here is credit union account that does ATM rebates. Like I use USAA and just take money out of ATM. Also, you can use State Department Federal Credit Union, which caters to expats over here. And you can open it from over here, but you do need your Social Security card, and you will need like some other paper documentation. Lynn says, Gene, Lamb, Baguio, and Tagaytay, they're good places to visit. Yes. I don't know if I'd want to live in either one of those places, though, because of the amount of people that go on vacation and visit there. It does get kind of crowded. Leonard Marlin, one of the big reasons I moved to the Philippines was the weather being comparable to my life in Clearwater, Florida. For Android 101, as I recall, Sebastian got pushed down some stairs after interacting with a drunk in a bar. After a certain age, who goes to a bar taking unnecessary risks? I agree, man. I stay away from bars. You know, Michael Lee says, good evening, everyone. Hope all is well. How you doing, Michael? Freedom Choice, living in Davao, starting to get hot down here, cooler in Manila. For Android 101, I may move to Clearwater this winter. Got a good friend there. Ernest Connell says, where's the bees? They're not visiting tonight, thank God. I don't even hear them flying around, but they can show up here anytime. You never know. Gene Lim says, at Lynn, yes, those two are actually on my list. Thanks. Angbak Lang says, Steve, is transportation reliable there? If you had an emergency, can you make it to Manila Hospital? Is transportation reliable 24/7? To be honest with you, I could probably get, if it was during the day, I could get a grab from here to a hospital in Manila, but I can get over to De La Salle probably within a half an hour. Lynn says, Gene Lim, you're welcome. Career Killer Audits, Dave from the Hood. Love you, bro. Always watching and got your back. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Much appreciated. Michael L says, Steve, Singapore would be an alternate if something happened in the Philippines. It could be, yes. If I'm not sure what their deal is with staying there. I heard it's much more expensive to stay there. I don't think I would go to Thailand. Thailand's not my cup of tea. Vietnam, I'm not sure what China would feel about Vietnam. You know, I'm not sure how I think Vietnam might be a place. I don't know if I'd go to any American islands, that's for sure. Sinfuls says, Angbak Ling, foreigner, if you need an emergency to a hospital, best to have a driver on tap. Yes, definitely. Leonard Marlin, I tried living on $2,000 a month here and just had to raise our monthly budget to $2,200 because of inflation now and cost of food and electricity. I think a lot of people are saying that they've had to go up on their budgets and stuff. That's why I say $2,000 to $3,000. $2,000, you can easily live here if you're single or even with a girlfriend that's pretty frugal. King B Stacker, I hope to meet you when I get in country in June, July, or August. I might not leave after my 2-month stay. There we go. Travel Life Unboxed. We'll head over to your house sometime when you have an open slot. Okay, just keep in touch with me. If you need my number or anything, just email me. Okay? And we could talk that way. It's easier to talk with me, and then I can usually tell you where I'm at rather than tell you on here, you know? Because some days I have open and I'm just hanging out here, and some days I don't. Celtic Nomad, hi Steve, good to catch you live. It's been a month or two. Greetings from Sofia City, Bulgaria. There we go, another country. June is getting closer to moving over. Hope all is good with you, buddy. Thank you, man. Charles Morel, Angbak Lang, have 2 or 3 drivers on call is my suggestion. Yes, because Take down grab drivers, because they're going to be, there's some good grab drivers out there, and there's some greedy ones too. But ask them, say, listen, I'll give you a call, and you can work with me off the books. They make more money that way too. Sinful says, I have not gone to a bar in about 30 years. I think I've been about the same, really. I went to a bar from my retirement party, because that's where they held it for me, and that was the last time I was at a bar. For Android 101, Leonard Marlin, how many people are you supporting? Let's see. King B Stacker I'm from St. Petersburg, Florida, and the weather is supposed to be the same as or better in the Philippines than St. Pete. Glenda Vargas is on board. How you doing, Glenda? Good evening, Steve. Let's see. Glenda's one of our group members. Ernest Connell, I've been to a bar. I haven't been to a bar since last night. There we go. John Bergeron, I've been here almost 6 years and have only my ATM and no problem. I never have many problems with my ATM. And if I did, I could go just get money out from a Western Union myself. Lynn says, at Sinfuls, you're so funny. You still have more time to go to the bar. There we go. Sinfuls, John Bergeron, exactly. Sinful says, Lynn says, bars serve me no purpose. I don't drink alcohol for one reason. I'm the same way, basically. I'll have a beer. I had a beer the other day. I think the most I have to drink basically is like 1 or 2 beers, and that's it. I'll drink pina coladas all day long because it doesn't affect me, for some reason, rum doesn't affect me, and they don't put enough in it. Charles Merrill, Dalat, Vietnam, check out the beauty and climate. Saturn 60 says, what makes Thailand a place you wouldn't want? My cup of tea. It's just not my cup of tea. I think the girls there are different. You have to pay to get married to one, stuff like that. You have to pay the family and all that. It's just a different lifestyle that isn't conducive to what I'm looking for in my life. The other thing is, it's not a Christian country, too, for the most part. There are Christians there, but there's not a lot. Joe Cunningham, do expats pay local, U.S. local and state taxes? SIRV doesn't have to pay taxes on pensions. If you're working over here, yes, you do. And I do pay taxes over here. I pay it on AdSense. Lynn says, at Symbols, that's good. John Bergeron says, don't go to Singapore to try to live. It costs as much as the U.S. That's what I heard. That's why I would stay away from there. I'd have to go to another place that's fairly reasonable. For me, it might mean going back to New Hampshire or someplace where rents are super cheap or something. Not that I'd want to go back there, because I don't want to go back there, but if I had to, I would. Tom's away. I'll contact you first week of April. I'll be staying in Alabang. Okay, man. Sounds good. If you're in Alabang, we go to Alabang quite often, so I could call you if we head over to Alabang. I could give you a day and we can go over there. Sinful says, at John Bergeron, I want to go to Singapore for the F race. Let's see. IMS 314 says, how come I've never seen anyone comment about using traveler's checks there? I've never heard anybody either using traveler's checks, to be honest with you. I think I took some here a long time ago, and I had a hard time cashing them. That was back in the 80s, though. Okay, Philippines, we used to use those all the time when working and living overseas back in the 90s. Now, I'm sure banks will take them, but I don't see anybody selling them over here. Traveler's checks are old. They're passé now. John Fetchko says, enjoyed Pampanga with girlfriend from Manila. No bars involved. Great VFW and TRICARE friendly. Trike's not back friendly. No. I have problems with my back all the time. I think part of it might be because of jeepneys and the tricycles. Sinful says, at IMS 314, those are things still? John Fetchko says, had no ATM problems. Yeah, those checks there, man, the traveler's checks, I haven't seen those in years. Not even back in the States have I seen people selling them anymore. Michael L. at John SG is pricey. However, it is the cleanest and safest city in the world. I'm sure it is. It's yeah, like you said, it is pricey. For Android 101, Cambodia's visas are so cheap and easy, it makes a perfect escape, at least temporarily. Otherwise, I'd go to Belize. Belize, actually, like I said, I had a business in Belize. I forgot all about Belize. I might go to Belize, but it's expensive there, too. It's not cheap there anymore. It used to be fairly cheap, and it's gone up because of expats going there. But it's gotten a bad name because of crime just recently, more so. And a lot of people haven't gone there. It's kind of fell off the map for a lot of people. But There are some places there that are fairly safe. Go to the Cayo district or that area near Guatemala. It's still cheap to live there. You know, it's beautiful there. I love Belize. I mean, I went there for over almost, I don't know, 7 to 10 years or something like that. I loved it there. I had a business right on the beach in Key Cocker. You know, I had a boat and everything, and I love Belize. But would I go back there? I might. I could live there cheap because I know how to live there cheap. You know, and it's fairly. You can still find cheap rentals there, but they'd be cheap rentals there is like, I don't know, the cheapest you can probably get is like 300 for a small place. You know, Dickie Spaz says at John Bergeron, exactly, the costs to live in Singapore are pretty high. Nice place to visit though. Lynn says, Michael L, I agree. Mike married to a beautiful woman. Good morning from Ottawa, Canada. Uh, PLS PRY, I don't know what that one is. Steve, are you worried about the tensions in South China Sea? Yes. And armada of ships, including the Seventh Fleet, is on the South China Sea and arming Australia with nuclear submarines. Um, China is definitely pushing buttons here. I mean, people say it's the U.S., but the U.S. has always traveled those routes. It's no different than any other time in history. But China's taking over these islands and stuff like that, and that's just messed up. You know, China's doing something, and it's not just Taiwan that they're looking for. Let's face it. If people have to be pretty naive to think it's just Taiwan. It's not. You don't build up a navy to just take back Taiwan. Sinful says if you living out of the country, no worries on state taxes. No, not at all. Michael L says there's also plenty of tech work there and no wokeness in Singapore, in SG. Let's see. You are judged on merit alone. Your Android for Android 101. For you guys interested in following unfolding China story, follow China Insights, China Uncensored, China Focus. Yeah, those are good channels. I watch those actually. Good stuff in 10 to 15 minute summaries. Those are excellent channels actually. I love those. Let's see, Michael also says travel checks have not been used since the 1970s. I remember seeing those things on the counter all the time. They always had the advertisement. I haven't seen those in a long time. I remember they did have them back in the 80s at some places still, Michael. Because I remember some banks still had them. You know, I don't know what brand they were or whatever, but they did have them back in the 80s. Because I took some over here and I remember cashing some. PH Expat Prepper, and I had a problem cashing them. PH Expat Prepper, when I first came here to the province, there were no gas stations, ATM, 7-Eleven. 18 years later, we have it all now for the most part. It's good, you know, the Philippines has come a long way. I mean, from when I was here in the 80s, it's totally changed. Let's see, Michael L says, what about Palau? Palau uses dollars, from what I understand. The last I heard is they still use US dollars. And there is a US base on Palau now, and they're actually building that up stronger. They cleaned up the old American base and started reusing it. So there is a base there now. I don't know if they call it a base or whatever, but we have troops there, and I'm sure that place is going to be pretty big. I mean, when you think about it, the whole coast along China is pretty much enclosed, and that's why they want Taiwan back, because you have Japan off the coast, you have Taiwan, and a few other places. But I mean, the U.S. has them kind of encapsulated there, and if we give up Taiwan and we give them a free route to the, and we don't want to do that, because China is a communist country. You don't never know what they're going to do. Ang Bak Ling says total budget is 46,000 in Iloilo. In Manila, it's more than double. The benefit of living in Manila is healthcare. Yes, there are many JCI certified hospitals, St. Luke's, Makati Med. Travel Life Unboxed. Alex Gomez here, living in Bulacan on a budget. My Filipino wife and I are doing well here. How you doing, Alex? Stay in touch, man. Let's see. Lynn says, Ang Bak Ling, foreigner, I agree. PH Expat Prepper, nuke radar platforms deployed out of Hawaii yesterday, as well as 3 nuke subs. There's a lot going on in the military. When I saw those troops, I was like, it was good to see American troops in the Philippines again, and walking around and walking through the malls and seeing lots of them. There was a lot of sailors at the Mall of Asia and they were very well behaved. I mean, I remember the days when I was in there. I don't think we behaved half as good as these guys. You know what I mean? And they were very well behaved. I was really happy to see these guys. You know, it's good seeing them. Michael L says Serpent ZA LAOY 86 and China ADV are also good channels. Uh, PLS Spry Steve, you got a point. Maybe the intelligence knew something and sees something we do not. I'm sure they have their eye on the ball all the time. The U.S. intelligence, they know what's going on, but I'm sure China does too. You know, they got their eyes on Elon Musk Starlink stuff, and he's ready to offload a whole bunch more of those satellites. So I don't think they'd ever be able to take them all down. For Android 101, let me see. I just lost everything on here. Hold on, guys. There we go. Hold on. Sorry, guys. My thing, every once in a while, my thing pops up. Let's see. I have to find it. Here we go. Sorry, guys, about this. See, Android 101. By the way, Khmer women are really, really pretty. Yes, they are. I used to go to a church that was a Cambodian church and American church, and they had a separate group. They had a separate church for them, basically. They were after us, but they were really nice people and really mixed in well with us, actually. A little harder to catch than a Filipina, but despite all those who will disagree, way more petite and exotic looking. Yes, 90 pounds is a heavy one here. Yes, I agree. Khmer women are very beautiful women and very nice women too, and very different with their attitudes. Different than they're much calmer than a Filipina for sure. I think so anyway. I mean, I can't say that. I don't want to stereotype women on here because I'm not like that, but I just think that the Khmer women were very more sedate and quiet, you know, and they're very nice people too. Michael L. Amex used traveler checks. They have been replaced by credit cards. Thank the gods. Let's see. For Android 101, yeah, they used to have some other travelers checks too, Michael, but I can't remember the other brand. I think there was a bank brand or something like that. Because I remember I used something. I'm almost sure it was a traveler's check back in the late 80s. You know, but I remember seeing those things all over the countertops, man. But Android 101, every place is more expensive because so many expats live in there now. Lynn says, problem here in the PH is the internet is very far from the city and more likely you won't have stable internet. Yes. Hospitals far, just too far. I'm not a fan of very far province. Yes. I agree. I agree 100% with that because even where I live, we're fairly close to hospitals. We have hospitals right down the street here, but are they safe enough if you have a heart attack? Probably not. You're probably going to die. You know, IMS 314, but you should take an aspirin before you leave the house if you're starting to have a heart attack. Definitely. Beauty of travelers checks was that you did not have to worry about theft anymore. American Express travelers checks used in the 90s in Hong Kong, South Africa, South Korea, and Philippines. But the Philippines, they were hard to cash. Hill Roberts, the UN has stopped using the incorrect use of third world a long time ago. Third world was an alignment and nothing to do with the country's economic standing. John Bergeron said, yes, Singapore is nice, very clean. Was there in September. Every taxi I was in seemed new and no problems with the traffic, all good but the cost. There you go. Have a nice day. Is it better to start the SRRV process from the U.S.? You have to get all your stuff together. You cannot start the process until you reach here. Let's see, or wait until I arrive in the Philippines permanently in 9 months. You need to start it when you get here. You cannot start it. I can help you if you need to start it. Contact me. Do not contact the PRA. Contact me first, and I'll tell you what to do so you can get everything done at a minimal cost without paying some agency or something like that. I can get you an agent for absolutely free. Absolutely free. And anybody that's gone through the process will vouch for me. You know, so it's not a scam or anything like that. You know, I just want you to know that. It's Steven5975, at Yahoo. Okay, Steven5975 at Yahoo.com. Okay, and then you can contact me on there and I'll help you. I haven't answered my emails like in 3 days, so you'll have to bear with me. Michael L. CC, much better minimal liability and can be used globally and give rewards. Yes. Credit cards are a good thing sometimes if you have, as long as you watch your credit. Ernest Connell says any future wars will be won by the Navy. That's what I'm worried about because our Navy is under, uh, doesn't have enough missiles right now. It has a week's worth of missiles if we go to war with China. And they just stated that several times. And I don't think that's good to be out saying that in front of China on the news and stuff. That's kind of stupid. But I'm sure that's something that's part of their plan or whatever. I don't know. But I didn't think that was too smart to say that. But that sounds like the current administration kind of messing up. Mike married to a beautiful woman. What is wokeness? To be woke mean you have awareness. It started in 1930 for black people to be aware of things happening in the South. We try to stay off that, man. Like we try to stay off that wokeness stuff because it just agitates people on here one way or the other. I know it's done a lot of damage in the United States, and it's not something that's conducive to keeping happy talk on here on this channel. That's why we try to stay off stuff like that, man. You can look it up though. I've looked it up, and it just says exactly what it is. And some people give different reasons, like different definitions than what I would say, but most of them are right on in line. Look up wokeness online and you'll get a different feel for what it really is. Sinful's 110 watchers, only 58 thumbs up. Thanks, man. Let's see. Sinful says for Android 101, not only with that, because all are getting expensive. ESP, the oil and electricity. Yes. JJ Course says message deleted. Must have been a bad boy. Let's see. Ang Bak Lang. Steve, were you here in 2018? Yes. China intercepted U.S. outsourcing here. Trump ordered businesses out of China, but China came here. Many BPOs got raided. Yeah, I came here in the spring of 2018. For Android 101, hey Steve, you mentioned everyone there uses Facebook Messenger. The rest of the world is on WhatsApp. Yeah, probably. I don't have a want Facebook. How crippling is this for me? It's not crippling because I mean I don't think Sinfuls doesn't have Facebook and he lives. You know what I mean? It's just we work on the phone with him. I mean sometimes I have problems with Messenger. I mean text messaging him for one reason or another. I'm not sure why. They just fixed that the other day, part of it, but I still don't get some text from him sometimes. Anthony Thompson says good morning from Dallas. How you doing, Anthony? Sinful says, for Android 101, I have 0 social media. I survive. Sometimes I'd love to survive without social media, but I need it because of what I do here. Leonard Marlin says, for Android 101, I have my wife and 4 kids in college, 2 in high school, 1 in grade school. We don't pay rent, own our own house. $2,200 is our budget. We pay rent. It would be much more, $2,600 up. 2 Orairo. Let's see. Where should I start? I'm not sure what you're trying to start. PH Expat Prepper. I live way out in the province. I have Globe Fiber 500 M plan being solid. That's good. If you live out in the province, man. Mike D. U.S. intelligence knows what's going on, except of course for that balloon that was allowed to freely roam and then shot down too late. All we can do is pray and do whatever we can. That's right. There's not much we can do in today's world, the way the world is. We can't. You're never going to stay on top of everything. It takes a huge think tank to stay on top of today's world. And no one person can do it. It's impossible. A president can't even do it. 2 Orairo says where to go in PH. Where to go in the PH? Lots of any place in the PH. It depends what you're looking for. You're planning on going on vacation, or you're planning on coming here to live. If you're planning on coming here to live, there's tons of places, and how much you want to spend too. PH Expat Prepper, but for years suffered with crappy internet. Now you got Starlink over here, so a lot of people are just going out and getting the Starlink. Hill Roberts, but they're having problems. So, wow, what a sweeping statement. Reference: you will die even if the hospital, then Filipinos will be non-existent now after making that statement. Rather silly. What does people say? Die even if the hospital and I'm not sure what you're getting at, man. Stanley Booth, GM Steve from Western Tidewater, Virginia. We are having a Filipino meet and greet for Filipino teacher at Cebu at lunch. Let's see. For Android 101, live in Manila. Why leave your home country at all? Kind of defeats the purpose of moving to the Philippines, in my opinion. 10 times the headaches of America, same pricing, heat. But some people, Manila's not that bad. I actually kind of like Manila. I live 20 miles outside of Manila, and I find myself going up there to do stuff because I like it. Um, it doesn't have the feel of the United States. The people are not American, and it doesn't have the attitude from back home either. You know, Sinful's put my email here, Steven5975 at yahoo.com. Michael L says, Mike, equal rights for all under the law is good. The problem is when criminals are given a pass due to them belonging to a minority, as it happens in the States. Yes. Let's see. Lynn says, question, guys, have you experienced the trending now about immigration? If you will visit outside PH, the IO, some question is irrelevant. How about in your country? I experienced the same thing. He's asking all you guys to write stuff. Let's see. PLSPRY says, Steve, is there an influx of Russians in the Philippines? No, that's up in, I heard in Thailand and a couple other countries. We haven't not seen any Russians here. I will say that. I think I've seen maybe 1 or 2 Russians here, and that's it. And I get around quite a lot, and I've not seen any around here. I've seen a Ukrainian woman, and her Indian husband, but I've seen, maybe 1 Russian here, if that. I think I've talked to somebody, either I talked to somebody or somebody said that they saw a Russian. I'm not sure if I seen one or somebody told me they saw a Russian. It was one or the other. I see tons of people day in and day out. Michael Ellis also corporation are given tax credit when they hire people from certain zip codes, and they are not held to the same standard as the rest of us are. Yes. That's what's the problem with back in the U.S. John Fetchko says, yes, third world originally meant not aligned with the USA or Soviet Union. For Android 101, it's true. Khmer women are Buddhists and way more calm. Less conniving, yes. I actually like the culture here better than the Philippines, but the heat is a serious issue. Yeah, heat in Cambodia, I had heard that too, because it's just a different world there. But also some of the culture is a little bit different too. That I heard it's nice. The people are nice there, but I'm not sure I agree with some of the culture there. But yes, it is a beautiful place. Big Al Boogie says, howdy. How you doing, Big Al? For Android 101, Lynn says, can't make sense of your question. John Bergeron, we are short on our missiles because they're all in Ukraine. Yeah, that's true. We help other countries protect their borders and leave ours wide open. That's the sad fact of it, Michael, we should never loan out missiles if it leaves us in a bad spot. And it doesn't matter about the other country, whether it falls or not. We should never leave ourselves in this predicament, That's just my thoughts on that. I worry about other people. I worry about the people in Ukraine, but I just don't think we should ever let our missiles get down that low. Michael L. says, at Android 101, depends on the area of Manila, Pasay, Makati, Alabang, BGC, all of them, and all of those are nice places, by the way. I like all those places. I like Makati, I like Pasay, I like Alabang, BGC. Michael L. says, John, the fight against Russian and Chinese aggression is a good thing. Yes, it is. Let's see. For Android 101, there will always be kinetic wars, but the next great battle may be fought via currency wars and communication breakdowns. Probably. I would agree with that. I think those balloons were a test to do EMP strikes over the U.S. because that'd be the perfect height to do it, by the way. And they were talking about that in a couple of stories that I read. James writes, is that Sinfuls and Steve, 2 thumbs up from North Binghamton, New York, sleeting this morning. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, James. Lynn says, for Android 101, I got you. You haven't experienced that very inconvenient. Sinfuls. James Wright, thanks, James. I don't miss that weather. Ann Back Lang says, Steve, what are the top 3 news sources that you rely on? It's hard sometimes to filter the propaganda. You want to know something? I don't really pick any one. Google News sends me my stuff, and I sort through the news, and most of the sources that they send me are pretty decent. It's not lefty or righty or anything like that. It's right in the middle. I find, and I find that they're the news sources are pretty good. They send me a thing and I can pick and choose whether I like it or not. And I go on there, and sometimes I see it on, you know, different sources. I'll go through. Also, some of the YouTubers out there that put the news out there. There are some good YouTube news sources out there. Mike, married to a beautiful woman. What is the best healthcare provider within the Philippines? I would say Pacific Cross, but there are others. Pacific Cross is okay. Some people say gets bad write-ups, but everybody I've talked to has said that they've had luck with it, and I've had luck with it. So I mean, I'm not going to badmouth, you know, any particular company out there. Each one has its good points and its bad points. Some of them you have to pay up front and then get reimbursed. Sinful says, at Mike, married to a beautiful woman, Pacific Cross is widely accepted. Mike D, Steve or anyone actually in the Philippines, quick question. If I need veneers, are there any good dentists and reliable, and how expensive? Actually, Mike, if you go to a hospital and there's a dentist there, and you go to a university hospital, usually you'll get a good dentist. And I use De La Salle University Hospital dentists there. There's a husband and wife team in there, and they're really, really good. Lazy Larry Lee says, hi, Mike. Mike married to a beautiful woman, Sinful. Is it available for Canadians? If you're talking about the insurance, Mike, yes, you can get insurance here, but you have to get it once you come here, and in the first year it's limited too. So keep that in mind, and that's with most insurance, a lot of insurance, not all, but with most. Sinful's Mike D, veneers prices in the Philippines can be costly, but here at Elevate Dental, our veneers fall under a price range of $8,000 to $25,000 depending on the material. There's different prices all over. I think the guy in De La Salle is a little bit cheaper than that. He's pretty good. It depends on where you go. There are some expensive dental places here. And you got to be careful the dentists should go here, by the way, guys. Just don't walk into any dental center and think that they're going to do that, because they'll mess up your teeth worse. And they'll tell you got 8 cavities like they did me down the street here, and I didn't have any. So be careful with your dentist here. Walk in and talk to your dentist, even if you have to pay him for an hour to talk to him and get the answers you want. If you don't feel comfortable, then don't go there. And if it doesn't look clean, don't go there. Go to a hospital. I'm serious. Tom's away. How was the last get-together? It was great. We had a great get-together. We had about 25 people this time because most people were out of town. So, and we had a few surprises. We had a couple of people show up that they surprised us because they wanted to surprise us because we hadn't seen them in a while. And I was really glad to see them. I'm always glad to see them. Mike married to a beautiful woman. Hi, Larry. Smiley says hi. Sinfuls. Yes, anyone can purchase through insurance guy in the group. Yes, Michael Onstad. It's Onstad. If you're looking for insurance prices, contact Michael on Messenger. Okay. Sinful says what the military says and what is actual are two different things. Yes, I think sometimes they put out stuff trying to look weak and try to entrap them. I think there's things that go on behind the scenes. I don't think that some of the stuff that they leak should be getting leaked out, but maybe it's for a reason. Who knows? Michael L. says we should increase our production of armaments. Yes, there is enough to care for both the Chinese and Russian threats. Yes, I think we're short-handed right now on both sides. You know, Lazy Larry, even with NATO and all that stuff, and our Asian helpers. Lazy Larry Lee says, Mike, thanks. Tell her hello. Michael L. says Google News is good. Yeah, Google News is what comes, like I'll go to Google News and it just has like a whole row of stuff from different places, and they always give me good news on there, you know. Lynn says, getting veneers is quite expensive. Not sure about the price because it depends on material and dental clinic. I have braces. There's some braces in some of the malls here, and from what I've heard, stay away from the malls. Definitely go to a university hospital and find a dentist there. Don't go to the malls because you think you're going to get any better stuff there. I've heard some terrible stories. So Celtic Nomad says ground news tells it as it is with no fake news. Michael L says, Lynn, I have noticed a lot of Filipino with braces. Yes, braces are a big thing here. Lynn says, Michael L, I don't know to them, but I've had problem with my teeth. Sinful says, you can buy insurance that will cover all your needs up front, but you will pay for that. It's called front loading. Yes. They do have insurance companies that do that. Like Pacific Cross has that too on a card. You know, I'll pay extra for that service. There you go. Have a nice day. Says one more question on SRV. The transfer of 10K US dollar funds can be done after arrival. It has to be done after arrival. It has to be done wire transfer from outside the country. You can be from any country, but it has to be from outside the country. Okay, and you will open your account with no money in it over here. If you need help with that, please contact me, because I can explain the whole thing to you and help you with that. And I prefer to talk to somebody rather, because there's a lot of knowledge that people need to know to do the SRV that they don't know about. And I can explain the whole thing to you, and it makes it much easier for you. And it's much easier than it used to be. It's gotten a hell of a lot easier than it was when I came here. It used to be a 3-day affair, and now it's a half a day affair. So, Blue Pony says, hello from Seattle. Quick question: are there any clothing stores for big guys in the Philippines? Yes, they have a place, Maxwear, which is in most SM malls here. Just ask where their Maxwear section is, and they have big shirts and big pants and big shorts and big everything. Sinful says, there you go. Have a nice day. Yes, you will do that after arrival upon processing. Mike D, there are dentists at hospitals. I guess the system is way different than over here. Yes, at university hospitals there are dentists. Okay, so, and they're good dentists too. Engbak Lang says, preventive care here is cheap. I go to the dentist every 3 months. It costs $800 for a checkup and cleaning. My eye exam is also free. Can't beat the vision and dental costs. No, you can't. It's very nice to be able to have low-cost dental over here and have your teeth done. Michael L says, Lynn, I understand, being there, done that. Years of braces. When I was older, I did Invisalign. Joe Cunningham says, do retired expats file FBAR foreign bank account report with the IRS annually? This is if the total account balance is... you're supposed to, I mean, I don't ever go over 10,000. I tell people to stay below that $10,000 threshold. But yes, you're supposed to. I tell people to make sure whoever does your taxes, ask them, because that's a tax thing. And if you have an accountant, usually they'll fill that out for you. They'll do it. Actually, even H&R Block will do that. But H&R Block has let me down this past couple of years really, really bad. They're atrocious with their service now. They don't call you back. I don't know what I'm going to do about my taxes this year, because they still haven't finished them. Biden announced we are not replenishing the SPR, Strategic Petroleum Reserve, for a long time. We sent $8 billion to Ukraine, but can't keep trains from crashing into each other in Ohio. Dangerous. John Croner says, hey Steve, how are you? Can't wait moving there mid July. I'm a Navy man, married 41 years to a great Filipina. I will call you when it gets closer to move. You do good work. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Michael L says, ground news is also is good also. Let me see. For Android 101, Joe Cunningham, yes. Lynn says, planning for LASIK for my... Actually, guys, if you guys are going to do LASIK surgery and you're going to do the SRV, you can get like 50% off, I think, on your LASIK surgery if you go through one of the places that advertises up inside the SRV, the PRA place. I saw that advertised there on a big sign there, and I read it also inside one of their bulletins there, the PRA newsletter, and it's 50% off that. You can also get, tummy tucks and plastic surgery, all that stuff. And it's like 40 to 50% off or something like that, so it's a pretty good deal. Let's see. Sinful says, Lynn says, I have had RK LASIK in both retinas, reattached in both eyes, cataracts. LOL, lucky I still see. Lynn says, Michael L, I will ask my orthodontist about Invisalign. Joshua says, I do feel if Mexico threatens to join Russia and they plan on putting missile bases in Mexico, we wouldn't make a terrorist threat excuse to invade Mexico. LOL. Now, would we? I don't think Mexico's ever going to do that, so I wouldn't even worry about that. I don't even think Mexico would come close to doing something like that. I don't even think it's just the United States wouldn't allow it. John Fetchko says, saw Max store SM clock. Yeah, it's a good place to get clothes if you're on the heavier side, because like a 3X over here isn't even a XL back home. You need like a 4X in order to equal the XL back home. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Josh, this is such a hypocrisy. We would have did the same thing Russia did. Um, I don't know. See, for Android 101, Joe Cunningham, due to currency fluctuations and the tiny interest you will receive, uh, you'll quite often be just over 10K. Must file. It's a headache. Get a tax lady. Definitely get a tax lady for that. Joshua, that's not like a subject I really want to pick up tonight. I'm kind of tired. I know what you're getting at, but Russia went in there and attacked, so it's a totally different thing. I'm not even going to talk about that. Leonard Marlin says, Joe Cunningham, I don't keep $10,000 in my bank account at BDO. I keep the majority of cash in the bank. The other thing that you have to worry about is when you have pesos that it fluctuates. So if you got like 9,500 and all of a sudden it hits 10,000 for a day, you know, and it could do that. So you got to be careful. That's why I tell people don't put 10,000 in there or even 9,500 because something changes in the currency rate and all of a sudden you got 10,000 and then what? You know, then you have to file that stuff. That's why I try to not do that. Always be thinking about that. That when you put money in there at today's rate, tomorrow's rate's going to be different. So it's just something to think about. Blue Pony says, does a person have to be 65 or older to qualify? No, 50 or older. 50. If you need any help with that, Blue Pony, just give me, send me an email and ask me for my phone number. Is it possible to live perpetually in the Philippines on a tourist visa? It's every 3 years you got to leave the country, and you have to keep on paying every month or whatever. So it gets kind of to be a pain in the butt after a while. It's nice to have the SRV and just pay once a year and get it over with, and you don't have to worry about having to leave ever. And you have there's a few more good things about the SRV that the tourist visa doesn't have, like you can work here and other things too. Michael L. Joshua, whataboutism much? The oldest trick in the Kremlin playbook to equate American and Russian government ethics makes me want to puke. That's why I really don't want to cover that. AJ Pat, thoughts about ICC issuing an arrest warrant to President Putin? I think it was a good idea. Look what he's doing. You know, I mean, they should have just left it alone. Sinfuls, Blue Pony 50 for SRV and no on perpetual tourist. After 36 months, you need to leave the Philippines for 24 hours to restart the clock on the tourist. And also remember, you could come back and they could also say, you know, they could ask you a question. If you answer the wrong way, they can turn you away. Because if they think you're living there, and some people have told them that they're living here, and then all of a sudden they start watching you more. They note stuff like that when they start talking to you. They're trying to trip you up when they're talking to you. So be careful. You know, for Android 101, do not use H&R Block. Plenty of independent bookkeepers in America. Find a local, establish a relationship works for me. Michael L says, let's see, AJ Pat, Putler is no better than Milosevic was. And let's see, Sinful says, Steven5975 at yahoo.com. Robert Nagel says, greetings, Steve. TurboTax is now providing agent assistance for taxes right now. You might be something to consider. Yeah, they told me that at H&R Block too, and I've used H&R Block last year. I actually talked to somebody. This year I can't even contact the damn person except through email in their messaging center, and they don't even answer you back. And they have all my tax stuff all uploaded too, and then do not answer me for nothing, and I'm getting kind of upset with that. I'm going to actually call them tonight after I get off here. Jay Bailey says, get some sleep. Love the simplicity of the content. The channel. Hope to meet up one day. Thank you, man. AJ Pat, thoughts about Silicon Valley bank collapse? I think that's going to be a mess waiting to happen. That's my thoughts about that. I think that's just the beginning of this. For Android 101, FYI, had read multiple times that LASIK surgery is or becomes highly problematic as we age. Best research at first guy. Let's see. Mike D, what about people that are under 50? Can't do it as of right now. They stopped it. Sinful says, Robert Nagel, I used TurboTax and had 24 pages of crypto transactions. Worked out well. Already received my refund. Aang Bak Lang says, thank you, Steve, for doing this. There's so much info here. My parents watch your show. They're 80 plus. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. For Android 101, Brazil is in China's pocket. probably are. There's a lot of countries that are switching gears. Joe Cunningham says, thanks guys for the F-bar thing. Trying to keep my BDO and Metro Bank combined balances below 10K. Yes, Joe, definitely do that. You know, you don't want to have to fill that stuff out. Sinful says, many watches 113, but only 61 thumbs up. Tap, please, folks. There we go. Thanks, Sinful. Lynn says, for Android 101, thanks. For Android 101, my pleasure. John Fetchko says, use agency for visa extension, painless, but you have to leave your passport for a week. Yes, there's no reason to use an agency to do a visa extension. It's so easy. It's crazy simple. You just go there, go to the BI. It's simple. You know, a lot of guys are asking me if should I get a lawyer and stuff like that. You don't need a lawyer. You don't even need an agency. For Android 101, FYI, never go over 50,000 of the tax paperwork becomes impossible. I can imagine. Saturn 60, superpowers invade other countries with questionable justification. That's just how it works. Ukraine, Iraq, Vietnam, same story, different superpowers. See, we're coming up on about 71 minutes. I'm getting kind of tired, guys. But let's do this again next week. I'm gonna cut this short tonight a little bit. I know usually I do an extra 20 minutes or so. Today I'm really tired, and I just had some things going on. I want to finish some stuff up on my taxes tonight, so I'm gonna end this in about 5 minutes. Okay, but we'll keep going for another 5 minutes. James Wright, I second that. Thanks, Steve, for all your work. Sinful says, for Android 101, I was over 80K for my startup. No issue. Certified wire was short term. Sam Lloyd, I'm relocating to Davao. There we go. Davao's a cool city. Sinfuls, thanks for all the good chat. I want to thank Sinfuls before we get off here tonight for all that he does on here on the moderating, because it's a huge help on here when we have trolls on here and stuff like that, and for just moderating. And he helps out answering too. So I want to thank Sinfuls on here. Let's see. John Fetchko, was big line at mall for extensions. Okay. Let's see. Chuck, thumbs up. Craig Jordan, too many politics for Steve. He wants to go to bed now. I just don't like covering politics much. I know some people get pissed at me when I talk a little bit about it, you know, and I try to stay off that for the most part, because I just don't think it's conducive to having a good conversation on here. I think it's more fun when we talk about other stuff, you know. I mean, politics just end up bothering people. Big time 911. Thanks, Steve. Sam Lloyd, I missed this chat. Let's see, David Hess says, thanks for everything, Steve. Sam Lloyd, I just started watching your channel. I appreciate the information. Live in America permanently is a huge decision, especially selling my house. Thanks, Sam. We're going to be on next week, guys. I promise I'll make it up to you at some point. Maybe we'll stay a little bit longer on next week or the week after or something like that. We'll do something, okay? Celtic Nomad says, good vlog, Steve. Always informative. Have a good evening, buddy. John Bergeron, last time I came back, it was no problem. But, in fact, this is the last 3 times, no problem. This last time, a lady just asked how long I was staying this time. And my reply was, one, y'all tell me it's, and then it cuts it off. Zane Underwood, thanks, Steve, for everything you do. Tom's away, no mosquitoes out there. No, actually, today's a good day here. James Wright, Philippines Info Channel, thanks, man. Mark Schaefer, not to upset anyone, but I read that an article about the U.S. using the Philippines for a proxy war with China, like Ukraine and Russia. Just be aware. Search Philippines proxy war. And make your own conclusions. Big Time 911, it says message retracted. And then Blue Pony says, thanks for the great info. James Wright says, no politics. That's right. We try to stay off that. We hit it a little bit, but I mean, I just don't like to hit that subject too hard, because I think it just everybody has their own thoughts on it, you know. And we left the U.S. to get away from that, you know. So Tom and Jerry in the Philippines. Good night, Steve. Thanks, guys. I want to thank all you guys for everything you guys do. Dickie Spaz says, JLB 10-hour plus live stream. You can do it. Yeah, I'm not up to a 10-hour plus live stream, let me tell you. It's not that I don't want. I'm a little bit tired, and I know I'm going to be up for another 2 hours talking to people on the phone and stuff. So, but anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. We will see you next Saturday at about the same time, about 9:30. We come on usually, even if it says 10 o'clock. We come on at about 9:30 just to get it started, and we're going to do that all the time. It'll always be 9:30 on Saturdays. And if you don't see me on here, guys, just be aware of this here. If you don't see me on here, be aware that it's just because something come up or something, or I'm not feeling good or whatever, or we don't have internet. So if we don't see me one week, just come back the next week. But I try to be on here every week if possible. God bless, guys. Take care and have a good night, guys.